Russell Westbrook's legacy was never supposed to be about rings. It was supposed to be about heart. The man built a career on energy, loyalty, and an unmatched drive that pushed him to play harder than anyone else every single night. But somewhere along the line, that legacy was hijacked. "It's messed up what happened to Russ," Patrick Beverley said. And he's right. Everything changed the moment Westbrook went to the Lakers. That's when the media flipped the switch, the fans turned toxic, and one of the most respected players in the game became the league's favorite punching bag. Westbrook's wife, Nina, revealed a heartbreaking moment when he smashed his phone in frustration after seeing that Giannis Antetokounmpo's brother, Alex, had signed before him. Just let that sink in. The 2017 MVP, a 9-time All-Star, the all-time triple-double leader, watching bench players and fringe talents get contracts while he sat at home, unwanted. At 36 years old, he finally signed a 1-year deal with the Sacramento Kings worth $3.6 million. This was a man who once earned $47 million in a single season, now taking the veteran minimum just to prove he still belongs. Reports say a Chinese team offered him $14 million, 4 times what Sacramento's giving him, but Russ said no. Because deep down, he still believes he's an NBA player. That's not arrogance. That's pride. That's conviction. He turned down a guaranteed fortune overseas to keep chasing the game that made him. But the cruel irony is that gamble nearly destroyed him. As the offseason dragged on and teams filled up their rosters, Westbrook remained unsigned. When news broke that Alex Antetokounmpo got a contract before him, he lost it. That phone smash wasn't just anger, it was heartbreak, and honestly, it makes no sense. Last season with Denver, he averaged 13.3 points, 6.1 assists, 4.9 rebounds, and 1.4 steals on nearly 45% shooting. He had his best 2-point percentage of his career at 52%. Those are starter-level numbers for a lot of teams, yet he couldn't get a call. It wasn't about performance anymore. It was about perception. Ever since the Lakers fiasco, Russ became the scapegoat, the meme, the guy everyone blamed when things went wrong. Patrick Beverley didn't mince words. "We've never seen this before," he said. "An MVP, a guy who changed the game, now on minimum deals." And he's right. Westbrook has done everything right since leaving the Lakers. He took smaller roles, accepted coming off the bench, mentored younger players, and showed up to every practice with the same fire. Guys like Paul George and Austin Reeves have called him one of the best teammates they've ever had. So how did the narrative turn this ugly? Enes Kanter Freedom offered one of the most brutally honest takes on it. "It all started with the Lakers," he said. "When you play with someone like LeBron, it's all about LeBron. If the season fails, someone needs to be the scapegoat." And that's exactly what happened. The Lakers missed the playoffs in 2022, and all the blame went to Russ. Fans turned on him viciously. They mocked him. They booed him in his own arena. They even sent death threats to his family. Death threats over basketball. That's when it stopped being about sports and became personal. Freedom also said he saw how badly it affected Russ mentally. The nicknames, the constant ridicule, it started to bleed into his personal life. His kids were being teased at school with the same names fans used to humiliate him. Imagine that. An MVP, a future Hall of Famer, coming home from practice to hear his children being bullied because of what strangers say about him. It broke something inside him, and the NBA just stood by and watched. And it's not like Russ didn't try to make it work. He adapted, changed his game, took smaller roles. After the Lakers, he went to the Clippers and then Denver, where he was quietly one of the most effective bench players in the league. In fact, over the past 3 seasons, he's come off the bench in nearly 150 games and finished in the top 10 in 6th Man of the Year voting each time. His stats still held up with elite company, players in their primes still getting big contracts, while Russ got veteran minimums. But the playoffs? That's where his critics always come back. When the lights are brightest, his flaws show. The turnovers spike, the jumpers stop falling, and the losses pile up. In Denver's playoff run, he helped them in the first round, but in the second, he struggled, shooting 35% from the field and 22% from deep, turning the ball over more than he assisted. The Nuggets were outscored by 92 points when he was on the floor against OKC. It's a pattern that's haunted him for over a decade. Because when the history books are written, Russell Westbrook's story won't be about stats, it'll be about moments. The triple-doubles. The fire, the passion, but also the heartbreak, the playoff collapses, the constant reinventions. The never-ending criticism. He's gone from being a franchise cornerstone to an NBA journeyman in less than a decade. Sacramento marks his 7th team in 6 years. That's not the career path of a Hall of Famer. It's the path of a man fighting for survival. And Sacramento? It's a wild gamble. The Kings are trying to stay relevant after years of mediocrity. They've got talent. Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Domantas Sabonis, but they're all ball-dominant players. The spacing will be rough. Russ will likely come off the bench again, running a second unit that was one of the league's worst last season. The Kings are hoping his energy, leadership, and intensity will fix that. But even now at 36, Westbrook's greatest weapon isn't his speed, it's his heart. That fire never left. He's still beloved in Oklahoma City. Fans there still cheer for him, even when he's playing for the opposing team. That kind of love is rare. It's what happens when a player gives everything to a city. You can't erase 203 triple-doubles. You can't erase an MVP. You can't erase the impact he had on a generation that grew up watching him play with reckless abandon. But you can see the toll, the miles, the exhaustion, the heartbreak of a man who gave his soul to basketball and got mocked for it. So maybe this really is Russell Westbrook's last stand, his final chapter. Either he helps the Kings make a playoff run and rewrites the ending, or he fades out quietly, another superstar the league outgrew. But one thing's for sure, nobody can ever question his passion. Russ might not have a championship, but he has something most players never will. Respect from his peers and a legacy of relentless effort. The NBA is a cold business. One minute you're the face of the league, the next you're a punchline. But Russell Westbrook refuses to go out like that. He's betting on himself one more time. Because in his mind, he's still that kid from Long Beach, the one who never gave up, who played every game like it was his last. The world might have moved on, but Russ hasn't. This might be it. His last dance. His last chance to prove he still belongs. Because for all the noise, all the hate, all the jokes, Russell Westbrook is still here. And he's not done yet. If you believe in redemption stories, hit that subscribe button. We're following Russell Westbrook's journey all season long, and you won't want to miss what happens next. Drop a comment below. Can Russ help the Kings make the playoffs, or are we witnessing the final chapter of a legend?